Hey, fellow fish keeper, Ben African Cichlids here. So today we're gonna talk about selling fish privately. So either selling fish from your house or shipping your fish. So we're gonna talk about the supply you need, where we advertise, and the way to meet the customers. Okay, so first thing first is gonna be supply. So now you have to think about like, are you gonna sell like one fish once in a while, or are you trying to do that on large scale, like moving hundreds of fish a year? So depending what you're going to do, well, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're going to need a net. All right. Second thing that you gotta do too, it's if you're just selling a couple fish a year or whatever, or a couple fish a month, or bigger fish, whatever, you can always ask your customer to bring a bucket or something like that to carry the fish. But if you're going to start moving hundreds of fish, you're breeding a lot, you're moving a lot, then you're going to want to get yourself some fish bags. So now you can go to your local fish store for this. They charge a lot of money usually for that, and usually they don't going to sell you that many bags. Uh, Bags could be very expensive because usually you have to buy a lot. If you want to split with somebody because you know another breeder in your region, then you can do that. Depending what size of fish you're going to sell, you might need different sizes. But you're going to need bags, and you're going to need elastics. And the bags that we use are they're 8 inch. I'll show you here, 8 inch by 20 inch, 2 mils, and they're poly. So we got her bag from Uline. Uline is a big shipping company, like supplying company. Uh, so anyway, there's other places you can get your bag, but the downside of this company, the bags are not that expensive by themselves, but you need to buy at least a minimum of 1,000 bag. And then, of course, the more bag you buy, then the less it end up costing you for like shipping, right? So you want to keep that in mind. So usually, you'll be like 150, 200 bucks just to order your bags, and then they end up costing you like 20 cents each if you do it that way. If you're gonna go to your fish store, it might be 40, 50 cents each. So I got a couple video about how to bag the fish, depending of the distance that they're traveling and all this. So anyway, you can see that in the description up here. I'll put the link. The other thing you're gonna need is access to air to fill up the bag with air. So usually we have this hose here, or just put it in here. But so we're putting that hose into our bag to fill them up. Bagging your fish is gonna make you look way more professional. The other thing that you might need too, if you're thinking about shipping fish, is actually those boxes here. Usually the fish store have tons of that. They'll get rid of it for almost nothing. That's if they don't just give them away. Here what you have is actually cardboard box, and then you have like a styrofoam box with the lid. And you'll have like a plastic so that if there's water that leaks, it doesn't go all over the place. So you need that in order to be able to ship your fish. Any shipping company like FedEx or anything like that is not going to want to deal with leaks. And now don't forget too, like if you're gonna start shipping, which we don't ship, but we have those boxes for if people travel far with the fish, or if we bring them to fish store. So if you're gonna ship the fish, then you're going to end up paying the per weight and per size of the box. So Now, like, you know, if you have lots of fish in there, you have lots of water, so that will increase the cost quite a bit, right? All right. So now that we know about like the supply that we're going to need to be able to sell those fish, it's gonna the next thing you're gonna need to do it's advertise them. Like, where do you want those people to find your fish? So now the best thing that I suggest is like a website, or you know, you can advertise your fish. Depending where you are, there's KGG, Craigslist. There's always just do your own website. There's also a knockoff kind of Facebook thing that's called Banned. So banned is because we're banned from Facebook for selling fish. So people created another thing that's kind of like Facebook, but it's called Banned. You know, I thought it was a good idea one time to use Google Map and advertise the business. Put their address in Google Map, it pops, oh, Martin's Amazing Fish Room. So, and then they have the direction to there. Well, what I didn't think of is that everybody on Earth have access to Google Map, and people would be like looking for a fish store, and then they end up like writing fish store or fish, and then Google Map would like pop our address all over the place. So we'd have like people showing up at their door out of the blue, just like, you know, knock knock. Hey, we're here to come and look at your look at your fish. We even had somebody that drove for like half an hour or 45 minutes here and pull in their driveway. Hey, is that Martin's Amazing Fish Room? And me and the kids are just playing basketball in the front yard. And we're like, yeah, do we have an appointment? Oh, no, I just saw you on Google Map and I decided to come over. So, anyway, you might want to do that if you want to, but I don't recommend it. Now that you find out where you're going to advertise, so now you want to put as much description as possible. So, the fish size, you're selling them at 1 inch, 2 inch, the price that you're asking for it. I suggest that you're looking at what other people that sell similar fish than you or similar species, what they're asking for, and you know, gauge yourself like a little bit around there, like a couple dollars higher, a couple dollars lower. You want to try to attract the client to you. Now, I would suggest that you don't want to go as the same price at the fish store, because if it's the same price in the fish store, people are not going to go to you. So you better go a little bit lower than the fish store. Of course, you might go like close to the fish store and have way better quality. Keep that in mind. Not everybody cares about the quality. You put the name, like maybe the common name, so that most people know what you're talking about. Like, and then you might want to use the scientific name too. I said fish size earlier, so that's a good thing. If you're offering, like, you can have different prices for different size of fish too. Like, you know, $5 for a 1 inch, $10 for 2 inch, you know, 15 for 3 inch. So advertise all that. What we like to do too, it's we advertise a lot on KGG, and then what we do, it's every posting that we have will refer to other posting too. So we're just like at the bottom of the post of the description, it says like, oh, if you're looking for other species, please look at our other ads or other posts. Okay, so we touch on supply, we touch on advertising. Now the next thing is where are you gonna meet your customers? So there's a few different things that people do usually. So you can meet your customer if you don't mind having them coming to your house. You can meet them at your house. Customer loves that because they're not used to seeing that many tanks. Talking to a breeder is pretty cool too for somebody that's new in the hobby, and seeing like how you do or the tricks that you have to do your water change, all that stuff, you know. So that's pretty exciting. And sometimes too, that people might not have seen other posts that you have. Like they're coming for one species of fish and they didn't realize that you had other stuff. So if they come to your house, they can see other fish. Sometimes, even though they didn't think they would go and get something else, then they might, you know, end up getting more fish than expected, right? So that's the plus. If you don't feel comfortable with that, then with other people, like some friends and other breeder that I know of, then they'll meet people either under porch, or so they do porch pickup, or they'll meet them like at a convenience store, grocery store parking lot, something like that, close by. Us, we like to do porch pickup sometime if we don't have too much time or we're busy with other stuff, and if we have time, then we'll let the customer in. Porch pickup is not too bad because you don't waste too much time. Now with advertising and selling stuff for from your house and stuff, one thing that I have to tell you is you're probably going to have once in a while a no-show. So that's kind of why I don't like to go to parking lots and meeting place and stuff like that, because, you know, you're going to bag all the fish, do all that stuff. Now you're going to sit in the parking lot and people might show up, might not show up. So at least if the stuff is in my house, even if it's pre-bag, ready to go for porch pickup or something, it's just floating in the aquarium. A guy don't show up, just open the bag, release the fish, you know, you get to go like that. Sorry, I had to start my water change here in my trophies tank. All right, so some of the tips and tricks that I can give you is, price your fish around the same price as everybody else, a little bit lower than the fish store. And also, if you know that the customer lives far away or something, try not to feed your fish that day when they're coming to pick it up, just because like that they're going to create less waste in the water when you bag them. Use like prime or safe to make the water not toxic for a little bit. Another tip too is on your ad, put as much information as possible. You're always going to have lots of customers that still don't read the whole thing and ask you like for the same information that's already in your ad and stuff like that. Like, you know, be nice to those customers. Sometimes they'll ask you, like, you'll have a customer that asks you tons of questions for days and days and days. They might not end up buying something, but think at long term, they might have a friend that might want to buy something one day, and they might, like, you know, tell their friend to go and see you because you're so nice and knowledgeable and stuff. So, you know, think about long term. Just treat everybody nice, and then you'll have lots of sales and return sales too. Do deals for multiple, but write it down so that, you know, there's no confusion or no dealing at the last minute with the customer. If you have it already on your ad and stuff like that, then you can just refer them to the ad if they're asking for deals for multiple. It's black and white. Everybody is happy. You're not treating somebody better and somebody worse. So the other tip I have for you is, especially for African cichlids, so always try to give the one that is the most colorful out of your tank. You know, sell those one first, because those are the dominant. And then what's gonna happen? It's the customer's gonna be happy because they have one that have like the best color and stuff. And don't worry about it, because as soon as this one goes, then your subdominant is gonna become dominant. Sorry, the dog is barking here. So your subdominant is gonna take his spot, and he's gonna color up even brighter, and then, you know, you sell that one. So always sell the biggest one, the most colorful one. The other one are gonna take their spot. Another good thing to do too, it's if you have lots of fish, try to always, you know, sell the biggest one first, biggest one create the most waste and eat the most, right? So you want to try to sell them as fast as you can, as bigger first, smaller after, so you can always give deals for bigger ones. Or you can sell the small one at home, and then the bigger one you can sell them wholesale, which we're gonna have a video about that. Next video is gonna be a wholesale and selling to fish stores. Now you have to expect that people, they're going to want to come like anytime during the day or evening to come and pick up those fish. So you kind of need to be flexible a little bit. You don't want to miss a sale. So, sometime you might have to pause your movie or whatever, or, try to have supper early or a little bit later because there's people on their way to pick up some fish. Okay, so the pros are you get more money per fish, and then you can do deals on multiple to try to get the customer to buy more fish, which is a win-win situation, right? Because now the customer buys more and you're making more money, and they're happy because they just get a deal. The other pros is you're in the comfort of your home. You don't have to go nowhere. You're just waiting for the customer to show up. You might have stuff like you can pre-bag stuff if they already tell you which fish they want. You can do porch pickup. Nice and easy. One big pro is sometimes you'll be lucky and you'll have like a beginner or somebody that's starting in the hobby that comes to your house, and then when they see everything that you're having, they get super excited and now they want to buy tons of fish all at once. So, you might have somebody that show up and end up wanting everything and get out of your house with 20 fish or 30 fish. So those are very good sale when that happens. The cons is sometimes you have people that, tell you they're coming and they won't show up. You might have already stuff bagged for them and they don't show up. You have to put stuff back in your tank, which is not that big of a deal if you're home anyway. You might have to spend lots of time answering people's question all the time. Don't give your phone number if you don't want that thing to start ringing all the time at different time of days and night. So that's one of the tips I can give you. That happened to me once. Phone started ringing at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, and the guy wanted to come and show his buddy which fish I have, and they said oh, we're gonna come and buy fish. It's no, not right now. So I hope you find that video useful. Hopefully I answer most of your question. If you have more specific question, just comment below. I always answer all the comments. And we'll see you in the next video.